All right, welcome back. A drug cartel leader was caught in Mexico. Jeremy Mensch reports.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, earlier this past week in Mexico City, the Mexican authorities stated on Saturday, April 16th, that they had arrested the drug kingpin in Mexico, Martin Omar Estrada, otherwise known as El Kilo. Estrada was found in San Fernando when authorities were following the mass graves that were created for the victims that the cartel had killed. Currently, the number of victims that had been killed add up to about 126 people. Because all of these problems happened, the Tamaulipas state governor has recently appointed a new head of public security, and Martin Omar Estrada will be facing life in prison. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeremy. Remember when we reported on that possible government shutdown? Well, it didn't happen because the Republicans and the Democrats negotiated on a budget for the rest of this fiscal year. The deal cuts nearly $40 billion from the original budget plan. And like I always say, that's a big deal, but literally this time. But now Congress is working on the 2012 budget. So it kind of brings us back to square one. And that argument is definitely going to be bigger. Yesterday, President Obama had a town hall meeting, and here's some of it.
For a long time, Washington acted like deficits didn't matter. A lot of folks promised us a free lunch. So I think everybody needs to recall we had a surplus back in 2000, 11 short years ago. But then we cut taxes for everybody, including millionaires and billionaires. We fought 2 wars, and we created a new and expensive prescription drug program, and we didn't pay for any of it.
This country is $14 trillion in debt. That's a lot of money. So the question is, can Democrats and Republicans put aside old-fashioned generic politics and get this done? It's probably a little more complicated than that, but that's why we have the WTOP journalist and chief meteorologist Dan Peruzzi, WTOP's Chris Lewand, and Asa Stako. All right, what do you think about it? The government didn't shut down, but they still have to come up with a budget for 2012.
It's going to be interesting over the next few months. I mean, it was very good that they were finally able to work together, though, even though it was like the 11th hour, to get this deal done. But you're going to have 2 separate plans, the Republican plan and then the Democrats' plan. And they're going to have to, neither one is going to win. It's going to have to be a mix of both that is finally going to get this done.
A compromise, you would think.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, we're at a time where the Democrats or the Republicans, they're compromised. There is no compromise. Well, the Democrats are here and the Republicans are there, and they're not really trying to come to the middle.
They're not trying to come to the middle, but they are in some ways. They were able to finally pass a deal, for 2011. So there's light at the end of the tunnel, if you will.
But I mean, how long did it take? It was supposed to be done in October.
And that's what brings me to the point, is that both sides have to realize, we can get this done, and it can happen in a manner a lot more streamlined and a lot faster than what happened with 2011, because this is a problem that a global superpower should not be having at this point,
Yeah, definitely. Too much indecision in Congress. I mean, still, look at Rand Paul threatens to filibuster this in the Senate right now. So you never know. It's a big division between both parties.
Who do you think is right on this, the Democrats or the Republicans?
I think either plan, there are right parts and wrong parts in both of their plans. It's just that there's a lot of stuff that's come over from past administrations, past Senates, past Congress, that have carried on till now, and that's what they need to fix. Getting some of these, you're always going to talk about tax cuts and everything, and you're going to have to realize who would be better to put more taxes on, and that's what we're going to have to realize, because we're still dealing with the Bush-era tax cuts, and that has caused 30% of the deficit that we're in right now.
What do you make of that?
30%.
All right, but I mean, it's not just looking at taxes.
No, I mean, you're going to have to look at, I'm talking about...
Definitely a rehaul of spending is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, no, a rehaul of spending, but you're also going to have to look at what past administrations have done, work with that. There's some stuff from past Republican, past Democrat administrations that worked, where you should take that and use that, and then stuff that hasn't worked, and you need to change that.
And you can't just say because of the Bush-era tax cuts that this has happened, because it's spending.
No, that was just an example. Absolutely. Okay. No, I'm not blaming that fully on that. There were some things in the tax
You're not blaming it fully?
No, not absolutely.
Are you blaming it partly?
Partly, yeah.
There's a lot of factors that go into it. I mean, the
There's a
Bush-era
lot
tax
of-
cuts are one of, hundreds or probably even thousands of things that come to this point. But Chris, I think you hit the nail on the head with, there's been issues in the past. You need to forget the issues you've been having and work together.
Absolutely.
There shouldn't be an issue balancing a budget. Yes, it's a massive budget. Yes, there's a lot of things at stake. Yes, there's a lot of things that the nation of America has on its plate. But it's the job of, the people in charge to get the budget passed. Do your job.
And
That's
the
what it
most
comes down
annoying
to.
thing is that people don't remember, and they take it as two sides. Either you're a Republican, you hate the Democrats, or Democrats and you hate the Republicans. We're all Americans. Work it out in the end, because it's
that generic political philosophy.
It's garbage having to turn on the TV every single day and have a group that goes, okay, whatever the other side says, we're instantly going to hate it. You have to look at parts of what they're saying. You can disagree overall on a lot of the points, but you do have to look at other points in what the other side's saying and use that to your advantage.
Do you think President Obama is being aggressive enough?
I feel like he's coming to a midpoint. I mean, of course, he's not where he was at the beginning of the election. He's definitely come more towards the right. And I mean, 14 trillion. I like the Republicans' plan personally more because of the rehaul of the Medicare and Medicaid and just being more aggressive than Obama. But I mean, if we can compromise and if we can take chunks out of this $14 trillion.
I'm glad you brought that up. The Republicans are thinking about taking away money for more social issues, and Democrats, of course, are not really fans of that. Do you think do we have to get to that point where we're taking money away from social issues?
Well, we have to take it away from somewhere. I mean, a lot of this this 40 billion that we just cut was just, I mean, special interest spending and stuff that wasn't being spent, like a bunch of grants. I mean, this huge bureaucracy that we have in the government.
A lot of people would say if you were to compare the amount we spend on social issues compared to national defense, I mean, it's here and here. Would you consider cutting down from national defense, or is that too far-fetched?
Well, the thing is, though, people have to realize we're still at war right now, so you're not going to have it where you're going to have a huge surplus during a time of war. You have to realize it's going to take a little while. Even though Iraq is mostly over, it's going to take still a little while to get that budget money working. We're still in Afghanistan, so it's going to take a few more years. And people who instantly go, oh, if we do 1 to 2 things, we'll be fine and everything, that's not true. We're still at a time of war. We're still going to have to know that there is going to be a deficit and have to deal with that over the next few years.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys a lot. And when we come back, we're covering the big news from coast to coast and around the world. You're watching the Weekly Rundown, only on WTOP 10.